cheers, thanks. Thank you for the support. So I'm first in the lineup, and at a thing like this, we know that means leading with the best, so thanks for having me. So my name's Kirsten Fossum. I've actually recently completed a PhD in physics, so if you don't mind... cheers, guys. If you don't mind, you can all just call me doctor. No, but if you're sick, please don't call me. Not that kind of doctor, though. And I just wanted to check my notes really quickly. No, I've got this. So basically, this is kind of a big achievement. You all just cheered for me, so I take that you're like, yeah, woohoo. But I'm actually of two minds, because I have one mind telling me, like, what in the world did you get yourself into? Let's never do that again. That was so stressful. And the other mind is like, I don't know if we did enough. I'm not sure if that was quite enough effort. And the other mind is like, shut up with the imposter syndrome, okay? You did enough. And I really did do enough, because I actually have the stress marks to prove it. I don't know if you guys are aware of stress marks. They're like, when you have a baby and you get pregnant, you get stretch marks. Okay, when you have a mind baby, you get stress marks, okay? They're there. I know they are. I can feel them. But actually, getting a PhD is just a lot like life. You put one foot in front of the other, and it kind of just happens. Well, I'm actually a physicist, so it's sort of like taking approximately one foot, and then, putting the other foot like about in front of the other in that general area. And if you don't understand that joke, you've never been annoyed by the gesticulations of a physicist before. But don't worry, we have a while. So actually, it's kind of a new achievement for me, and I was speaking to a friend or colleague, and it's kind of awkward there, because you're never sure what to call them, because you don't know what they think of you. I'll just go with friend, and I was like, I'm so relieved. I don't have to wake up panicked in the middle of the night. I don't have to feel guilty for not giving this mind baby attention. I can just ship it off, and responsibility gone. And of course, she just burst out laughing, because she's actually a mother. And she was like, yeah, Kirsten, you're describing having a child, except you can't abandon your child after 4 years. That's bad. That's bad. You can't do that. And I was like, so here I am. I spent 4 years getting my mind stretched and prodded. I got my thesis. And in the end of it all, I'm really glad I don't have any kids right now. So I actually just wanted to spend a moment to talk to you guys about what it is to be a scientific researcher, because when I tell people that I'm an atmospheric physicist, they kind of glaze over, and there's this, I wonder what I'll make for dinner, but I better nod at the appropriate time so she thinks I'm paying attention to what she's saying. So I wanted to tell you why I became a researcher in kind of a way that you might understand. So I was 6 years old. I had my first scientific experiment. Now I was 6. I didn't know this was a scientific experiment. Of course, I had no idea, but I'm this little 6-year-old girl from Southern California. It doesn't freeze there. Okay, it's really sunny. And I went to the East Coast to visit my grandparents, and I slipped on the sidewalk because it was frozen, and I didn't understand why. So my dad and my granddad, they took a tin of water, and they said, all right, we're going to go put it outside in the middle of winter, and you'll see what happens when you wake up. And I woke up, and guess what happened? It was frozen. What? I was like, what? This is crazy. Only the refrigerator, the freezer does that. But no, so that was cause and effect. My first experience of find out what happens, and that's what happened. So the sidewalk was wet. It got slippy because it turned to ice. If I put the hose outside all night, I can have an ice rink. It's going to be awesome. But no, I didn't do that, and my parents were probably really thankful of that. But we'll shoot ahead in my life, right? So now I'm in undergrad. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, just like when I was a little kid. Still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And I'm there, and I'm deciding what to major in. And I do the opposite thing people really do. I chose the subject I was the worst in. That's not really how you go for your career, right? You want to do something you're good at. But I chose what I was worst at, and it was physics. Funny there. Physics is actually the science. Yeah, physics is science. It's actually the science of how the world works. So when you're sitting in class and you don't understand physics, you're kind of like, have I not lived in the world for 18 years. Yeah, I have, but I still don't understand what's going on. So I was like, yes, if I'm going to pay for my education, I'm going to do something that I can't learn on my own, and that was physics. And I started from the bottom, and now I'm here. No. I started from the bottom, and lo and behold, I got a goddamn degree in physics and a PhD, so it worked. Education. Yeah, if I literally was to look back then at where I am now, I'd be like, no shit. She got her PhD. Fair play. Except for I'm American, and I wouldn't have said fair play back then. I would have been like, cool. Yeah. So yeah, you might be wondering why Ireland, sunny California. I ended up in Galway. I don't have to explain why that's weird, except for people who love rain. But I ended up here, and I'll tell you why. I came to visit in June 2014. Does anybody remember? June 2014? Super sunny, awesome summer vibes, best weather. People still talk about it in pubs. Yeah, that's when I visited. That's why I'm here. Enough said. Okay. So, no regrets, though. I've been spending the last 4 years researching cloud formation, looking at oceanic air, and measuring the cloud particles using my handy sidekick, a Moody supersaturation chamber. Not important that you know what that is or care about it, but it's a scientific instrument. And I just thought I'd ask, does anybody want to know what it's like to have an instrument? Not that kind of instrument, a scientific instrument. Come on, get your mind out of the gutter. Anyways, having a scientific instrument is a lot like looking after a pet. It's really expensive and stressful, so actually, it's like minding your boss's pet for about 4 years. So, if you check up on it and keep it going, running well, you don't have to worry about it, everything goes perfectly. And then as soon as you, neglect it for however long, we're not going to get into how long I neglected an instrument for, but if you neglect it, all hell breaks loose, and then when you finally remember to check on it, you're like, oh God. And you have this feeling like your stomach is in your butt. I don't know if you know this feeling. You're like, if it was a pet, you'd be reaching around the wall to see if the legs were up in the air, not really sure what's gonna happen, and then either it's fine and you're like, I'm awesome, everything's fine, or it's not, which also happens, and yeah, your life is a bit in the gutter for a while. It's more like, at that stage, your stomach went from being in your butt to being on the floor, so it's fun. I think I'm out of time, so I'm just going to end this rant with an actual joke, since this is a comedy club. So many laughs, jeez. It does feel good, Anya, jeez. Okay. Here are the three things you need to know about being a physicist. 1, we're not on time a lot. 2, we love to approximate things. Thank you guys, have a great night.